it seems a little bit of a no-brainer when you get an audition for a Wes Anderson project to go and do it, especially if you are somebody who really admires and has loved his work since you were 9, 12 years old, which I was and I am. They had given me a scene from a completely different project that had absolutely no bearing on what the actual script ended up being like in the slightest. So I had no idea at all what it was meant to be. No character description, nothing. But I did it and then got a recall, callback, and went in, did a few of those. Met Wes for the first time, I think, at recall number 2. And I remember I was very nervous to meet him, and then he opened the door and he was wearing pink socks and slippers, and I was not scared of him anymore. And glasses and a stripy shirt. And we just spent a lot of time talking, which was great. And then I finally got the script. Actually, I wasn't expecting to get it at all, but to my surprise, they sent it to me after they told me that they wanted me to do a chemistry read with Benicio, and it was on a timed link, and I read it, and I didn't stop reading it, and I'm a very slow reader, so that is impressive for me. And my initial thoughts were just, holy shit. The Phoenician scheme is about a man named Zsa-zsa Korda, who is one of the wealthiest, if not the wealthiest man in Europe. And over the course of a slightly undetermined amount of time, some assassination attempts have been taken against him. He has survived all of them, I think 6 plane crashes at this point in time. And he realizes after his most recent one that, okay, he needs to secure his family assets. And in order to do that, he needs to bring back in his estranged daughter. When that happens, and when we meet Liesl and Zsa-zsa in the same room, we become aware of the fact that actually she has ulterior motives for meeting up with him again. She has some very long time dormant, unanswered questions, and her intention behind this meeting again is also to find some answers to those things, and thus they quest onwards to go and secure their family fortune, basically, and meet some very interesting people along the way. Michael Cera's character, Bjorn Lund, is an entomologist, which is a great word, is an entomologist who has been hired by Zsa-zsa to tutor him during moments of his free time, I think is actually the line. And Zsa-zsa has a thirst for knowledge of varying different kinds. Clearly, insects are the most recent topic of interest. And seemingly by accident, but also quite possibly because of terrible planning on the part of Zsa-zsa, Bjorn ends up sort of becoming the administrative secretary. And it sort of it just all sort of gets intertwined from there, because he's suddenly the administrative secretary to this mad harebrained scheme that, how could that possibly work? But yeah. So there are several stops that are made along the way. Stop number 1 is the Sacramento Consortium, comprising of Leland and Reagan, played by Tom Hanks and Bryan Cranston. And we meet them in a tunnel, which is a very good tunnel. It's a very good tunnel. And essentially this negotiation of very unconventional negotiation happens, but they do agree to cover some of the finances that are needed. There is also a boat. There is also, oh my goodness. Well, there's a desert, which is also a tunnel. Then there's a boat, and there's a dam as well. And then there's a very expensive hotel at the end. We're sort of everywhere in such a short amount of time. Getting to do that scene with Michael was so much fun. And we're very, very serious about it, but it's funny. It's funny. Michael's getting drunk on 3 beers, and I don't drink hard liquor as a nun, but I am seemingly fine. It's funny. And we had a lot of fun doing that and trying different things. And then watching Michael seemingly get progressively more drunk as Bjorn was one of the funniest things that has ever happened. Also, Michael ad-libbed a lot, much to the encouragement of Wes, but he would regularly just like come out with random Bjorn-isms. And there was one thing that he did in the section just before the tunnel. We're out in the desert and we meet Prince Farouk, played by Riz Ahmed, who is a gem of a human being. And I think Riz is meant to say, in reference to somebody who has been injured, oh, he didn't suffer, and Michael just completely unprompted went, oh, I think he did. And we were not expecting him to do that. So I remember looking at Riz and just then looking at the ground, but then not being able to not laugh. And then everybody was laughing, and the accent was brilliant. Oh, Michael's just hilarious. When we meet Liesl, we meet her not only in a very simple, very pared back way, but we also meet her with a very minimal lifestyle around her. Simple pleasures is her lifestyle. And her pipe, which is sort of just, a thing that she has, is replaced with a much later on, we actually don't see this until infinitely later on in the film, is replaced by this beautiful, incredible, ridiculously gorgeous pipe that was made by Dunhill with semi-precious stones in it. And it just was it was a proper corncob pipe. It was amazing. And then as she's beginning to live with Zsa-zsa and becoming more and more involved in his scheme, he also replaces her normal rosary with a secular rosary, which was made by Cartier, which was terrifying to hold, but which was a beautiful, beautiful item. And I think those two objects are somewhat representative of her, not her transformation, but sort of her journey of realization about who she is and actually what it is that she wants. Working with Wes is an experience that I will never forget as long as I live. He is the kindest, most brilliant, creatively minded person that I have ever had the fortune to encounter. If I hadn't have got the job, just meeting him would have been enough. His clarity and expression of clarity around what it is that he wants is something that I have never experienced to that level before. He does many takes of things, and there is a very good reason why he does that, because he knows exactly what it is that he wants, and he knows exactly how to get those things. And at no point did I feel like I couldn't ask him a question or couldn't discuss something with him. He's amazing. He is truly the most one-of-a-kind person that I've ever had the fortune to meet.
Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. ScreamingMovieNight.com